I had this video done. I had it loaded on YouTube, and then I watched it, and the paper that I am handling here is so loud that you can't hear anything. And it was just stupid. So I took it off and I'm redoing it. I'm doing a voiceover. And what you're seeing is this packing paper that I got in a package of, I don't even remember what. And I was going to give it to the cat to play with, and I realized that it's actually perforated and made into perfect little 4-page, whatever you call it, signatures that are glued in the middle and make, I thought, well, that'd make a cute little, like, junk journal. And so I was going to iron them just because, make them a little bit better, and flatten them out then and make them into a junk journal. And I was looking up the paper because I wondered if you could buy the paper. And it's a thing called storopack.com. And I looked it up, and it's actually a like ginormous machine that you buy, and you run the paper through, and it like joins it in the middle and creates this basically an X-shaped piece of paper that it just crumples all up into packing material. And I should have taken a picture of it before I flattened it out completely, but it's joined in the middle with some sort of glue, and you have to buy the machine, not the paper. Not that I would buy the paper, because that would defeat the purpose of using what I have. So that is my story, and I'm sticking to it, and I'm going to take these apart and make them into a junk journal. And use the signatures, and I'm going to speed things up a little bit because this takes too long. Okay, I've got the papers all ironed, and now I'm going to fold them into signatures. There is some printing on one side of the paper, but that is it's not anything real dark or prominent, and I'm just gonna let it go. The glue that's in the middle that of those signatures is it's a little bit stiff, and you kind of have to work it out a little bit with the bone folder to get it to fold evenly. But it's, again, not that much of a challenge. But I'm going to fold these up, and I'm going to make them into probably signatures of like 3 pieces, and then I'll have one more signature that's going to only have 2, because I had, I believe, 11 pieces of this wonderful paper. Okay, so I got the signatures all folded, and now I am making a cover, and I just used a small box of a small cardboard box that I had on hand. I save a lot of my little boxes like that, and I keep using that signature to kind of check the size, and I'm kind of making this up as I go along, so I'll cut it up and glue it, and it's kind of wimpy, so I'll probably add more to it, add another piece of another box. I'm also going to sand it a little bit to rough up the glossiness of it so that the glue will stick better. I don't know if that actually works, but that's what I do. Okay, so we're sanding the edges, and that is where I'm going to glue them together, and that's going to form the spine of my junk journal. And I'm also sanding the cover because I'm going to cover that with some wrapping paper that I've salvaged, and it needs to be used up. And I just do the sanding to get rid of that glossiness so it'll stick a little better. And as you can see, my 3-in-1 advanced glue is giving me a little trouble. I think I'm getting to the bottom of the bottle. And that part there will be the spine. And then I'm going to add another I have a second box that I'm going to glue on the back side of it to make it a little more sturdy because it's kind of flimsy. So it'll actually be a double layer of the box board. And then I'll just put my signatures in like that. It'll probably need to be trimmed down a little bit. And voila, presto, junk journal. Okay, I'm back. I covered my cover with some old wrapping paper, recycled Christmas wrapping paper. It's like got two sides to it, and I really liked the dotty side there. And yeah, so it's stiffer than it was. I added an extra layer of cardboard because I thought it was too flimsy. And I have a corner rounder, like an industrial strength corner rounder that I spent money on because I don't know. I guess I thought I was going to be rounding lots of corners. So I used the corner rounder on my my little pages, my little signatures. I also used it on the cover. And you know, it's kind of a big device. It's used, you know, like you can round the corners on an entire notebook at once. So I'm pretty sure I heard the thing laughing at me when I rounded these corners on these pathetic little signatures. So yes, but you know, I bought it. I need to use it. That is the thing. So here's my signatures. I decided that I think I had 5 or 6 signatures. I decided that that was too many. So instead of having just 2 together, I'm going to do 3. 3 of these little 4-page things. Well, I thought that's what I had. So I'll do that so that it's a little bit not so many holes in my spine, because my spine is not that wide. So they'll go like that. And then I will probably do what I think they call it a pamphlet stitch, and this is 3 inches. So I'll start in the middle at 1.5 inches, and then I'll go an inch out this way and an inch out that way, and do my holes for the signature, and I'll stitch that. And there are plenty of YouTube videos to show you how to do that. So you don't need to watch me go on and on. I'm going to try and use some of these scraps for the spine. These are leftover pieces from other bookbinding projects, so I'm going to use those up if possible. Okay, it's done. I used white, black, and red twine, and I'll just leave these ends like this, maybe put some beads or something on them, decorate them a little, some charms or whatever, or I may just leave them like that. Who knows? But I used up scraps, so that makes me happy. And then there it is. Let's see if I can find the middle of one. There's what the middle looks like. The signature. So what I did is I went in through the middle of the spine and then out through the middle of the first signature right there, and then out the top through the spine, back down to the bottom hole, and through the spine into the signature again, back out the middle, and then tied it. It's a real easy stitch. And that's it. Thank you. Okay, so I did add some beads to the spine, and these are paper beads that I just didn't like them. They weren't quite as good as I wanted them to be, so they're just kind of a random assortment of paper beads that I just use for different projects. And these beads, these are those silver lined things. These are the beads that they put when you buy fancy beads at Joann's or Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and they string beads with these in between to make it look like you're getting a lot, which you're not, because you're getting a lot of these. So yeah, I know this is, it's electrical something or other. My grandpa was a builder, and so my grandma, I don't know if she saved these. They're what they clip off the end of the electrical when they're hooking it up, but it's kind of fun to use for beads, so there's some of those in there. And then these things, I have no idea what they are. And if you know, you can let me know. I got them at some sort of a surplus store or something. And I don't know if they're like, if they actually have a purpose or if they're supposed to be decorative, but they're purple and green also. And it's kind of like hardware of some sort. You can see that. But there. So now it is done. Ta-da! So we got the spine with the beads and the fun little packing paper, whatever thing that is. Thanks for watching.